Hey, Dave Csanda here with this week's Buzz Bite Report overview for the Upper Midwest at anglingbuzz.com. As you can see, I'm sitting here lakeside enjoying a beautiful summer day. This weekend, we will have a flood of tourists up here to load up these tables and chairs and boat slips, and chances are a lot of those folks are going to be out here fishing as well. We have just a plethora, a huge amount of summer patterns that have started to hit all throughout our region. We're starting to see walleyes dropping down onto main lake structures in force, really for the first time so much this summer. Lakes like Mille Lacs, the mud flats are starting to go for deep walleyes. Lake like this one here, this is Gull Lake. We've got walleye setting up on the deep weed lines and the first drop to deep water, real common throughout our region. We've got a lot of the post-spawn largemouth spread out on flats, not right now. You would probably want to be casting spinnerbaits or crankbaits for those. They and the big smallmouths really aren't schooled up that much as of yet. They haven't gone into their full summer patterns, whereas other fish, like perhaps pike and walleyes have. Big pike along deep weed lines right now and starting to get ready to drop down into deeper water in the next few weeks, cooler water to avoid that summer heat. We have a lot of suspended fish patterns right now. The weeds are not fully developed yet, like you'll see after the 4th of July. And there's a good rule I know in our region where up until the 4th of July, a lot of muskies are suspended. You might want to be out trolling crankbaits in the top 15 feet of water, especially if you have ciscos or tullibees, fish like that, bait fish that those fish feed on, suspended fish. Even so, we still have a lot of other fish that will suspend, and that's a real good tip for people. In the evenings, you'll see crappies along the deep weed edges suspended high, feeding aggressively, cast and swim little jigs. You see the little fins, the top fins of bluegills poking out of the surface on calm summer evenings right now. Cast a fly rod or cast a little jig for them. Largemouth bass, don't be surprised if there's a number of, particularly the smaller to medium-sized fish, that are suspended right alongside with those panfish. And it's a good place to cast crankbaits along deep weed edges right now. Just a whole variety of different patterns. Fish are not glued to the bottom, however, and for these next few weeks, when you've got a lot of fry near the surface and panfish feeding up high, think about covering water, think about fishing the top 5 to 10 feet as opposed to necessarily on the bottom, unless you're down in the depths for something like walleye. So a lot going on here right now. We've got beautiful warm weather coming into us. Summer is starting to get here in full force, and it's a great time to be on the water. Suggest you go out to the site here at anglingbuzz.com. Check in with our Buzz Bite reporters in the field to see what they have to say. And like I always like to say, they're going to help you put more and bigger fish in the boat in the weeks ahead.